Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about a very successful person in the world who from the fifth richest person in the world moved towards third richest person in the world in just one night by an addition of $15 million to his account, and he is none other than Elon Musk. So let me take you through his journey and understand how he was and how he reached today's position where he is in right now. So let me start with his childhood itself. Elon Musk's childhood was really troubled. He was born in South Africa, and his parents were, his father was in South African and his mother was a Canadian citizen. Okay. So he was bullied a lot during his childhood. His schoolmates used to thrash him. It so happened once that he was thrashed so badly that he was admitted in a hospital for almost a week. Even though he never had any friends in school, he considered one as his very close friend. He believed in his friend. He had full trust in his friend. And this friend is considered as the best friend of humanity, and that is books. When he was a child, no one thought that Elon is a special kid. But there was one thing special in Elon, that is he used to love reading books. His mom also said that if Elon is not at home, there was two libraries in the town. She just has to go there and check there, and in one of the libraries, he will be there for sure. Elon read all the books in the libraries and there was nothing for him to read further. He used to always tell the library guys to get me a book and I want to read, and when there was no other books for him to read, he even finished reading Encyclopedia Britannica. So many of the people whom I also know, they have a habit of reading books. So what they do is they will read the book and probably they will implement things in their life. But here Elon was different in that also. Just by reading books, Elon learned coding, and in a very small age he developed a game just by reading books. He developed a game because he loved reading games as well. He developed a game and he earned a prize of $500 as well. Because of his love towards gaming, he decided to start something during his teenage itself. So along with his brother, Elon decided to start a gaming arcade. So even if he was a teenager, he thought about it and he didn't sit quiet there. He decided to implement that. He spoke to a lot of people. He found vendors who can give him the equipments. He did the lease papers done. Everything was done and everything was ready to go. The only thing that he wanted was a building permit. For that permit, he needed a signature of an adult. Him and his brother, both of them were minors, hence they couldn't get the permit. So they wanted signature from the parents, and parents completely disagreed. Hence they had to stop the idea there itself. And it is not just that. Elon, as I said, during his teenage, when he was around 13-14 years itself, his parents got divorced and he was staying in South Africa with his father. During those time in South Africa, it was a rule that you need to serve in the army, which is mandatory. Elon never used to like the government in South Africa during that time, and it was not even a question that he was going to serve for the army. Hence, he moved to Canada for his higher studies. After being there in Canada for some time, then for his further studies, he moved to USA, from where he graduated in 2 subjects. Okay, so it was that time when internet was on its boom, and Elon thought of starting something by himself. And that is when this idea clicked Elon. Why don't I start bringing the local business into internet market? Something like Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages is where you can get all the numbers and contact information of the people who are locally placed there. So Elon bought all these information into internet to one place wherein you will get the details of local businesses there. And it was such a super hit that Elon sold this business for $22 million when he was just 28 years old. Elon should have sit quiet with this $22 million in his pocket and would have lived his rest of the life peacefully and lavishly. But he didn't do that. He always wanted to do something great. So he thought a lot, and then he learned that it has been long time that no one has done any kind of difference or revolution in the finance industry. And thus Elon, along with several other great people, came up with the idea of PayPal, because during those times it was very difficult for making money transfer from one country to another. If you send a check, it may take a lot of days to reach there. If you do a wire transfer also, it used to take a lot of time because of the internet concerns during those age. And the people who started PayPal is also known as PayPal Mafia, because all of the founders who were there in PayPal are millionaires today. One of them is the founder of YouTube as well, wherein you are watching my video. So they started PayPal, and after running it successfully for quite some time, they sold PayPal to eBay, wherein Elon alone got his share of $180 million. So when he got this $180 million, again, he should have sat quiet with the money in his pocket, but he didn't do that. Then he thought of doing something little further, because he wanted to do something great for the society as well. So 2006, he came up with the idea of Solar City. Solar City, the main focus is into producing electricity from sunlight. He also got an idea of SpaceX, for which he is the owner today. So SpaceX is an organization which was working on launching rocket to Mars, because he thought the way human beings are exploiting Earth today, the day is not far that a human as a species will not remain in Earth. So if something happens to Earth, Elon wanted to make sure that at least as a species, some human being remain, and hence he wanted to send people to Mars so that we can check the possibilities of staying in Mars as well. During 2007-2008, his business as well as his personal life wasn't going that smooth, because during 2007, 2008, SpaceX 3 projects failed. Then Tesla, which is a part of Elon Musk, Tesla wasn't performing great, and Tesla was almost at the verge of bankruptcy, wherein they had only 1 week's money in their account, and Elon had only two options. One was to shut down Tesla, or second was to invest the remaining $80 million which we got as a PayPal deal in Tesla. Why? Because no other investors would have burned their hands by touching Tesla during that time. And you know what Elon did? He invested the remaining $80 million in Tesla, and because he trusted in himself and he trusted in his decision, things turned out. The fourth project from SpaceX to Mars was a great success, for which even NASA cracked a deal of $1.5 billion with him. Also, there was a company who purchased $40 million worth batteries from Tesla, and the both companies were on the track back again. Okay, and today actually the 10% share of Tesla has been owned by this company who purchased this $40 million battery during that time. Okay, so if we just look at his journey, we will see that he also had a very normal childhood. His parents were very normal, his childhood was very normal. However, because of his interest in reading books, because of his interest in doing something different, because of his habit of not settling for minimal, he reached where he is today. So I'm going to tell you 5 habits of Elon Musk which we also can implement to make the difference in our life. These 5 habits Elon follows even today, even after being the 3rd richest person in the world. Elon even does that today as well. And I'm sure there is within no time, Elon is going to be the world's richest person. He's going to be number 1. So let us focus on the 5 habits. First one is Elon's morning routine. Okay, so Elon says that he sleeps for at least 6 hours in a day. So according to him, if he doesn't sleep for that much time, then he won't be able to as productive as he wants to be during his waking hours. Hence, you need to make sure that you give proper care to your body. Elon at times skips his breakfast. Why? Because it is a hard fact for us Indians to digest, because we believe that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But that is just a myth. The researchers have proved that 3 meals a day is just a myth as long as you are having enough calories and vitamins, because that is what you need to make your day a running. That is how Elon does. And Elon makes sure that he eats the frog first. So that doesn't mean that he literally catches the frog and eats it first. It is said that you always should the most important and the most time consuming works in the morning, because once you finish that, the remaining will be a peaceful day. So every day, whatever the emails and whatever the deals from SpaceX and Tesla is there which needs to be taken care, he makes sure that he does that in the morning itself. That's how Elon's morning starts. Okay. Second thing is batching technique. The second point is batching technique. So batching technique is basically working two things together. For example, if there is two works in which you don't have to put complete focus in both of them, you can do both the works together. For example, Elon majority of time has his lunch during his meetings, because he just have to give focus to his meeting and he actually don't have to give focus towards his lunch. Hence he does it at that particular time. He listens to audiobooks while he is driving, because he needs to just keep focus towards his driving and he can keep listening to the audiobook. This is something which even we can also do. While we are stuck in traffic, we can listen to audiobooks. While we are in kitchen, we can do that. While we are doing exercise or we go to gym, we can do that. So there are so many things like we can just focus in our life and we can do this batching together wherein, and again when I talk about batching, please do not confuse batching with multitasking, because multitasking is somewhere wherein you need to focus on both the works. So if you don't focus on one of them, you may end up making a loss for yourself. So batching is basically merging two works wherein you don't need complete attention and focus. So that is second thing which we can learn from Elon Musk, wherein we can save our time as well. The third one is planning day with blocking technique. Planning your day with time blocking technique, to be specific. So what is time blocking? So in our life, if you see, we also have a lot of things which we wish to do, and what we do is we start doing something and then we may not end doing that, and then we will jump onto the other task that will also may not end, and we will go to the third task. This is how things happen with us. But here Elon has taught us about the time blocking technique. What is time blocking? Elon has a calendar wherein he always fixes times for specific tasks, like 25 to 30 minutes he divide and he makes sure that he do that work only during that particular time. And he finished that in that particular time itself. There is a reason behind it. When you also start doing this, you may feel irritating and you will feel that what am I doing? But if you do it for continuous basis, you will get a long run, focused work for long run. Why? Because of this law which is called as Parkinson's law. So according to Parkinson's law, it is said that a human being will take that much time to finish a task which is being needed to take. For example, if you are a working person or a school or a college student, you may have a target to finish your assignment or finish your work in specific particular date. What you do is you always make sure that you finish it before that targeted date. Why? Because that is your target and that is you have kept a time for yourself. Okay, before this time finishes, I need to do that work. So it is the same thing with our daily work as well. If you keep yourself a target, if you give yourself a target of say 30 minutes or 40 minutes, then you will make sure that you finish your work within that particular time, which is called as time blocking technique, and we can also do that. Got it? Now the fourth point. The fourth one is productive rest. What is productive rest? After working for 8 to 9 hours in a day or 10 hours in a day, we feel very much tired. We come back home and we just want to sleep. That is what we want to do. Elon, on an average, he works for 80 to 100 hours in a week. So when he is doing this 80 to 100 hours in a week, he also wants to make sure that he is getting enough time for rest. So what is productive rest and what Elon does? What Elon does is, whenever he gets free time, he makes sure that he spends that time with his family. Even with this busy schedule wherein he is handling more than 4 companies, he makes sure that he gets time for his family, he gets time for his exercise and medical checkups done on a regular basis so that he can be physically fit, and he also finds time for his favorite hobby, that is reading book. So this is what we call as productiveness. Do something which you love the most, because if you are not able to spend time for yourself and if you are not doing it, then when you are at work, you will not be able to match your capability. Why? Because you are not giving time for yourself. Hence, productive rest is very much important. Right? Now, the fifth point, which we call as bonus point, because it is a learning point, it is a huge learning from it. Our Elon Musk's love reading book, and he is a continuous learner. And you know, how does he learn? He learns through reading books. Apart from learning through books, what he does is he always speaks with clever people, intelligent people around him. Once one of his SpaceX senior manager, Kevin Boran, he told once that Elon speaks with the engineers in a way that when he starts asking about a part, he will not stop. He will ask in depth about that part over and over, that the engineers may think that Elon is actually taking an interview. But it is not like that. Elon is not taking an interview. There, what Elon is doing is, he wants to know, or he wants to get in-depth knowledge about that product, and he will ask until he get at least 90% of the information from the engineer. That is the kind of learning, that is the kind of urge towards knowledge that Elon Musk has. Okay. So now, if we look at ourselves, Elon is nothing different from us. He is as normal as we are. The only difference that he has is that he loves reading book and he has an organized life. And whatever I told you here right now is an organized way which even you can also do. I can also do. It is not that we cannot. So my point is, even if we do 10% work of what Elon does, if not a billionaire, we can certainly be a millionaire for sure. It is said that after Steve Jobs, if someone is bringing a revolution in the technological field, technological industry, then that is no one else, it is Elon Musk. Why? Because of his organized life, because of his proactive behavior, and because of the habit that he believes in himself. For us also, if we want to do all this, we need to start believing in ourselves. We need to believe that I am capable of doing all this, right? So here I have given you 5 points from his daily life that he does on a regular basis. Why don't we take an oath today that at least we will start with 1 or 2 points of them, and on a gradual basis we can probably implement all of them. And if we implement all of them and we stick on to the plan, and if we move forward, guaranteed you will see the difference in your life. Why? Because Elon is also as we are. He is nothing different. He is also a normal human being with a normal life who has moved from normal to hard work to smart work to extraordinary work. So these are the steps even we can also climb. Right now, if we are in normal, let's do little hard work, and once we do little hard work, let's move it further towards smart work, and then let us do extraordinary work to make sure that we too make a difference in our life and we too make a difference in the society. If you drag your feet, you will not leave your mark behind. So make sure you're not dragging your feet and you're leaving your mark behind with the great work that you can do. And I'm sure all of you all can do that. Thank you so much.